welcome back to another episode of the Nothing to Do podcast. I am your host, your estranged host, Jeremy Garcia. And it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I think it's been almost 2 months since I've been on the airwaves. Shout out to the past recent guests that I have. Thank you for pulling up and spending some time with me here at NTD Studios. But wow, yeah, it's been too long. I made a bunch of empty promises about blowing up, about taking this podcast to the stratosphere and having a bunch of new and exciting guests. And then I have three, and then it's just like, oh. And I kind of went dark for a little bit. Life kind of happened. A lot of life happened kind of fast for me. Nothing bad, obviously. I mean, like, nobody died or anything like that. Just, stuff got really busy, really fast, really quickly. And so I just had a lot to take care of. I want to just start off now that it's fresh in my mind. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Raul and Brianna. They got married earlier in May. 2 weeks later, Mr. and Mrs. Steve Cochio. Steve and now Kate Cochio were married, had a lovely wedding in Denver. I'm so glad that I got to be part of both of those experiences very closely, very intimately, and I had such a great time. But yeah, man, I got back from those trips. I missed my first week of classes because of those trips and because of a bunch of other stuff. So I've been playing a lot of catch up with schoolwork and work, and I got a little curveball thrown my way in terms of what I'm going to be doing for next year. So a lot of little mini fires I had to put out. So I'm sorry that I haven't been here, and I haven't been giving you what you so desperately crave, right? But so much has happened in the last. I think the last episode that came out was the end of April. The last time I recorded was like mid to end of April, which is unbelievable that it's been that long with no warning. That's not my goal to do, but what has happened? Let's see what has happened since then in the world. The NBA playoffs. Let's start with the NBA playoffs. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. Clearly the best team. And they prove so, and absolutely taking care of every team that they went up against. Really, the only team that took them 6 games were the bullshit Phoenix Suns with no depth and an aging Kevin Durant and an overrated Devin Booker. Yeah, I'm coming in hot today. I don't know if Devin Booker's overrated. I'm just personally not as high on him as everybody else is. He's a great shooter, but that team like that. But yeah, they swept the fucking Lakers, who made a crazy run. And then they took care of the Miami Heat in 5 games. In 5 games, all it took was 5 games. The Eastern Conference should be completely embarrassed with themselves, as the Denver Nuggets showed us out east how you handle a motherfucking 8 seed. Now, this is not to take away from anything from the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler's a fucking dog. But let's be real. They had Jimmy Butler. They had Bam Adebayo, who's not like an offensive powerhouse. And that's it, right? And then a bunch of role players, a bunch of Kirk Heinrichs and J.J. Redicks and Kyle Korvers that just happened to get unbelievably hot in those first 3 rounds. And a fucking veteran championship coach in Eric Spoelstra. But let's be real. Like, the Heat, yes, it was fun to watch that run. And I remember I was rooting for the Nuggets out of bitterness. And I'll talk about that Celtics series in a second. Out of bitterness, because I wanted the Nuggets to show the Eastern Conference, more specifically my Boston Celtics, how you take care of a motherfucking 8 seed. And that's exactly what they did. But, the Heat stole game 2 in Denver, and then all of a sudden they're going to the Heat. It's looking like it might become an actual series. And part of me was like, you know what? If the Heat win this game, I would love for them to take the series. I think it would be fucking great for an 8 seed to win the championship. I love Jimmy Butler. I love his mentality. He's a motherfucking dog. But it didn't happen because they're really not that great of a team. Right? I was talking to some people like during that Celtics series and in the they're like, yo, no, the Heat are nice. I mean, like, yo, Gabe Vincent and Caleb Marley, they're gonna get huge contracts next year, all this shit. Listen, this isn't a Jalen. I don't think this is a Jalen Brunson situation in the slightest. I think the only player who has a chance of getting a contract next year after these performances was Caleb Martin, who looked unbelievable, especially in that Celtics series. As he fucking just completely took us down in Game 7. I'll get to that in a second. But like I said, it's like that team clicked at the right time. They had a bunch of role players, spot-up shooters. Like I said, Kirk Heinrich's, J.J. Redick's, Kyle Korver's, who absolutely, I mean, like shooting 51% from three for like multiple games in that Eastern Conference Championship was that's unheard of. And it's like there's really nothing you can do against that when a team is shooting that lights out. But I don't think that they're as good as they played in the playoffs. But I mean, you really only need to play well in the playoffs. All you got to do is get in, right? I mean, they showed us that in 2007, 2008. You know, the Giants squeezed in and they fucking took down the undefeated Patriots. I mean, the Florida Panthers right now, I don't know. I think they're looking like they're going to lose, but fuck, they took out the Boston Bruins. They were an 8 seed, and the Boston Bruins were the best team. It was basically the 73-9 Golden State Warriors from 2016. Another example, 73-9 Warriors from 2016 blew a 3-1 lead, and they lost. All you really got to do is get hot in the playoffs, right? So that's really all that matters. But it's funny, right? Because even like you think like there's not even any going into the playoffs. You wouldn't even consider like playoff Jimmy is playoff Jimmy. He's like on another stratosphere, right? But when you think of like the regular season, if we were to have this conversation in like the middle of February, right, going into the All-Star break, like the Miami Heat doesn't have a single top 10 player in the NBA going into those playoffs, right? I don't think you can really make an argument for Jimmy Butler being in the top 10 this year in the regular season before going into the playoffs. Obviously, like, it's pretty clear who Jimmy Butler is and what he's capable of doing. I'm not taking anything away from that. But, yeah. And the Bucks couldn't handle it. I mean, granted, Giannis was hurt. The Knicks couldn't handle it. Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett played like shit in that Game 6. And the motherfucking Boston Celtics just looked pathetic. That was like a you know, when we went down, I had a conversation too. When we went down 3-0, like people were just like, you know, all you need is one game. It's true. All you need is one game. It's just like, you know what? No, I don't like the history. You know, it's never been done in the NBA. It's only been done once in the MLB, and it's been done twice in the NHL. In my head, I'm just like, just sweep us. Put us out of our misery. I don't want to go through this, right? We escape Game 4 in Miami. We got the win. Go to Game 5. We handled them at the TD Garden. And Game 6, and now everybody's like, oh, my God, oh, wait. Now that he got their backs against the walls, it's Game 6. We got to win Game 6. And God bless Derek White on this unbelievable play. Shouldn't even have gone 7 games. We got a miracle fucking toss-up prayer of a Hail Mary, 0.3 seconds, tip in. We take it to Game 7. And all of a sudden, for some reason, it's a foregone conclusion. The Celtics locked in the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals. We have 2 of the top 10 players in the NBA. One of them being in the top 5. We'll say top 5. Arguably top 5, right? And Jason Tatum. And we come out in Game 7, 30 seconds in, fucking Jason Tatum almost snaps his fucking ankle in half. And that was hard to watch. And he couldn't do anything. And I'm curious. Well, it's like whatever happened to whatever happened going into the fucking locker room and just like getting fucking 2 fucking syringes of fucking ketamine, horse tranquilizer, some fucking fentanyl. Get him out there. Get him good as new. Give him something, right? What the fuck happened? I mean, like, Patrick Mahomes, right? He damn near snapped his ankle in half in, like, the second round in the playoffs, the second game. He goes out for the end of the second quarter, comes back in the second half, and fucking wins the game. Barely misses a step. I mean, you could see that he was playing a little hurt, but, like, he took care of business. I mean, Kurt fucking Schilling, right? Kurt motherfucking Schilling. Part of the 04 team that completed that 3-0 comeback against the Yankees, went out there and took the mound in Game 6 and pitched 7 marvelous, like, out-of-these-world innings with a bloody sock. His sock was bleeding because his ankle was so fucked up. Pitched 7 innings. Give Jason Tatum whatever the fuck he needs and get him out there to win Game 7. That didn't happen. And then we have a rookie coach in Joe Mazzulla. I mean, what can I say about Joe Mazzulla? He's a fucking bozo. I don't care that he's from Rhode Island. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He was a young assistant coach who had to step up in the midst of the Ime Udoka fucking situation. And I think the Celtics were so ready to just be rid of that situation themselves that they removed the interim tag from him and they fucking hired him. And he inherited a fucking championship team. As a matter of fact, people are always talking like, oh, the Celtics need this and that, like in terms of what they need off the bench or in their starter. Our team was better this year than it was last year. We were deeper this year with Malcolm Brogdon, who won the Sixth Man of the Year. We didn't lose any crazy pieces. We even had Danilo Gallinari. I don't know why he didn't. I guess he must have been hurt the whole year. Maybe we fucking put him in the G. I don't know what it was. But our team was better this year than it was last year. And what we lacked was an experienced coach to call a fucking timeout when you need to run a play with 5 seconds left, right? We needed a coach to fucking galvanize the locker room because it was clear after those first 3 games against the fucking Heat that nobody had Joe Mazzulla's back. Joe Mazzulla clearly lost the locker room, right? And then he got saved. He got bailed out a little bit, taking it all the way 7. We needed a coach who had the balls that after the first quarter, when you saw that Jason Tatum wasn't right, to just pull him and put somebody else and make it competitive. But no, he didn't have the balls to do it, I guess. And this is me, again, talking shit, not playing any sort of organized sports since I was about 16, 17 years old. And was pretty mediocre at all of them. Who really only plays basketball on Sundays, with a bunch of old heads. Sorry for calling you old if you're listening. And we didn't have, he made some questionable calls starting like Peyton Pritchard in like game 2 or game 3 of that Heat series where it's just like he barely played all playoffs, and it's just like it seemed like he was trying to make a cheeky move and whatever. But what we need is a coach. What we need is our true king, Ime Udoka, back. But that ship is sailed. I think they signed him to the fucking Rockets or something. And that's really that on that. But congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. I'm happy that team won. I'm happy in the direction that the NBA is heading in terms of we're finally past that era of LeBron versus Warriors or LeBron versus the field. And as much of a LeBron fan as I am, I don't think that was like it was we were in an annoying era of the NBA of just these super teams dominating. And not that not that the Denver Nuggets, like I'm a fan of these homegrown super teams, so to speak, right? Where the Celtics, they have they have a team built around Tatum, Brown, and Smart, and then the Nuggets have a team built around Jokic and Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter, and Giannis and his Bucks, and the Warriors are really the Warriors were a dynasty, a homegrown dynasty. So yeah, I'm happy for that, and I fucking love Jokic's attitude. Not that there's anything wrong with like being super passionate, but like he's just very much like, yeah, we got the job done. Like, let's go home. He's done. He's over it. He's over it. It's a funny mentality to have for someone who just he casually just goes out there and just fucking 30, 20, and 20 like every fucking night. He's just an animal and he just doesn't really give a fuck. And it's funny, and this is kind of a segue into something like, why can't successful people, at least on social media, be more like Nikola Jokic, right? I feel we're in like this like almost evangelist. Like I feel like being successful, quote unquote, and the way these success-minded influencers, this is like it's like a new religion almost. It's like it's like the new Scientology or fucking I don't even know what. It's insufferable. It's fucking insufferable. Like these guys, like no one can be chill about success anymore. Like, is it like not a mutually exclusive? Like, do you have to just be like it just the most insufferable? Like, I don't sleep because the money never sleeps. And I wake up at 4 a.m. every day, and I write down on my calendar, and I fucking go on a mile run, and I fast, and I fucking do this. And if you're not doing these things, then what the fuck are you doing? Huh? You're wasting time and you're disrespect. Oh, it's like, oh my God, like shut the fuck up. Like, it's funny, and I want to play this one clip, and I can't listen to it with you guys. For some reason I can't get my headphones to work, but I've seen it enough to go, and this is like the vibe I'm talking about right now, right? It's just like so apparently this is this guy. I guess his name is Andy Elliott. If my podcast was any bigger, I probably wouldn't plug him, just because like I don't want to give him any more attention than I feel like this may deserve. I feel like I'm coming off as a fucking asshole right now, but I don't give a fuck. And he's a sales trainer, right? And he's just like this really intense dude, and he likes to fucking call people out. And like this is one of his videos. Just listen to this real quick. Whoops, hold on. Make sure this is going.
What do you sell?
Cars.
You sell cars. Okay. How many cars do you sell a month? Average.
4.
So he sells around 24, 25 cars a month. Let me ask you a question. Could you sell 45 cars a month?
Yeah, working on it.
No, but why aren't you? No, watch. See,
No.
This is you conforming to society. I've only been doing it 4 months. If somebody grabbed one of your kids and they kidnapped them.
Like, Jesus Christ.
And they said they were going to kill him if you didn't sell 50 cars. Would you sell 50? Yes or no? You're either going to do it or your kids are going to die. You'd sell 50. You find a way to do it.
Yeah, you'd find a way. Yeah, I'd find a way.
See, what I want you guys to understand is you have something inside of you called drive. And you control it. You control whether it runs hot, you control whether it runs in the middle, or you control whether it runs cold. No one else can control it. What do you say?
All right. You get the gist of that, right? This guy's a sales trainer. I guess companies hire him for probably like a 2 or 3 day fucking sales training experience. And he's just like, and he sounds exactly how he looks. He's like this fucking ripped, like, he's not like buff, but he's like ripped and he's kind of big, completely bald, just the tightest like clothes. Also, he didn't blink once during that video, just so you know. I wish I could show you, but he doesn't blink, which is like one of those telltale signs of like an actual sociopath. He doesn't blink, and he's just like trying to motivate. It's like you're trying to motivate people. It's like fucking imagine your kids fucking being tied up. You can sell 50 cars. Then it's like yeah, probably, but it's just like. And people eat this shit up too. I guess it's like people really eat this shit up, right? And it's like, and that's why I say it's almost like the new religion. It's like something like you need. It's like listen. I work sales. I worked sales for 3 years? I worked sales for like 3 years, in New York, and I was marginally successful at it, in the point that like, in the sense that like I was good at it, but if like I had any like I just didn't I knew it wasn't like I wasn't anything passionate about, and like so like it kind of just I moved on to other things, but like at a base level I was pretty good at it, right? The best salespeople that I worked with, the people like that were fucking like they were like they did not act like they were chill people, like they were fucking. Like they like barely talked. They fucking just chilled at their desk and fucking sent emails. They made their calls. They were really like cool, and just very calm about being good at their job, which is just like that's what it should be. Like I don't think. And then on the flip side, I don't think that understand why you need that sort. I mean, if that's what you need, I guess that's what you fucking need. But like, we're not training to be a UFC champion. We're not fucking training to be U.S. Navy SEALs. Like David Goggins is really like the only one who can kind of get away with that, in a sense, where it's like, he was a fucking U.S. Navy SEAL, and like the way he changed his life is incredible. But even some of his videos is just like, oh my God, all right, bro, we fucking get it. Like you're about this life, and that's what I mean. But it's like a religion. It's like people. It's just like I could smell the overcompensation in those videos, in this guy's voice, in the way he tries to motivate people, in the way he tries to just like, it's baffling to me. And some of these guys, even there's like that one guy, I'm sure people have seen this video. He came out like he just like wanted to sound like a fucking genius, like the way he structures his day, where he takes our one day of 24 hours and he makes it into 3 days. I don't know. He has 3 days. He was like, from 6 to 12, that's day 1. And from 12 to 6, that's day 2. And from 12 to 6 or whatever the fuck, whatever is left over is left over. So I have 3 days when you guys have 1 day. You stack that over. So I have tripled my days in the week where I'm gonna kick your butt. It's like, bro, that math is not mathing. That math is not mathing in the slightest. Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's just like this it's like these Joel Osteens of success and getting money and getting pussy or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's just like it's I mean, it's there because people are eating it up, right? It's there because people are eating it up. And it's funny. It's like, and the people that eat that, 9 times out of 10, the people that are eating that shit up have probably just like a gaping hole in their life. It's something that they just are really struggling with. And I guess that's fine. I mean, if that's how you cope, that's how you cope, I guess. It's just like I think you just need to chill. I think you need to sit down and have a look at yourself. I think this behavior is more indicative of your state of mind and the state of sort of your masculinity. In a way, this is taking it to like a whole new conversation, which I'm not ready to dive into yet. I think it'd be better to dive into with somebody here. But yeah, it's funny that the people that repost those types of videos, like the Joel Osteens and these fucking sales guys and these fucking and the Jordan Petersons of the world and the fucking whoever the fuck you wanna, whatever. Like 9 times out of 10, those guys are going through a fucking break. That's what I noticed. Like you can tell, I've slowly like I've never been one to I try never to buy too much into people's social media presence or social media their behavior or their patterns. And like try to guess as to what they may be going through in life. But I mean, social media has been around, and I think part of the reason is because like I think about that, and I was like, all right, so then what does mine say about me? And I'm pretty dark on social media most of the time. I'm not. I'm very much a lurker. Even when it comes to this fucking podcast page, like I'm very. I just don't. Whatever that says about me, it says about me, right? But it's usually when you see like girls, they have both girls and guys, they have whenever they're going through a breakup, or whatever they have, they post their selfies, thirst traps, whatever it may be. Women, when they're going through a breakup, they post quotes from like We the Urban. We know We the Urban when they have those like those half-ass bullshit like motivational quotes and how to live your life, and if your energy is not matching my energy, then we have to reevaluate, and boundaries and all this shit and blah blah blah. Or they'll post a lot of Justin LeBoy maybe, right? And guys, when guys go through breakups, they post this shit right here. They post David Goggins, and they post this fucking walking circumcised penis of a fucking sales trainer, Andy Elliott, and they try to like just push it. I don't know. You could tell, and yeah, it's fucking funny, and yeah, I don't know. I just think people always like people are always obviously looking for answers or for distractions or something to lean on, something to guide them through whatever issue that they're going through, as opposed to actually dealing with, in a healthy way, how to deal with whatever you may be going through, whether it's loss, breakup, whatever it is. So it's funny. It's funny. But yeah, these guys, these success guys, these wannabe Andrew Tates. Andrew Tate's another one, but Andrew Tate is like, he's almost like a character of himself, in a way. He's also he can be very insufferable and problematic in a ways, but I don't know, there is a charm about him where I do like a lot of his content. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because like he actually he actually is. I mean, I don't know. He also like allegedly has like, you know, a fucking, he grooms like fucking young women and shit like that, and borderline fucked up shit, but that nobody really has been able to prove, and people have been looking to nail him, I feel, just because of his presence. So I mean, like, more is definitely to be revealed there, but I mean, I don't know. I do have to admit, there's something charming about Andrew Tate where I can't fully like it doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like these guys, like one of those guys that are maybe overcompensating in the way most, like, I honestly feel like he's genuinely just a fucking douchebag just because of his nature. Um and which, to each his own. It's like, I can respect a douchebag if he knows he's a douchebag and he doesn't pretend he's not a douchebag. I don't know if this makes it. I don't know if am I making sense, guys. I don't even fucking know. It's my first episode back in a while. And there's a lot of thoughts that I just haven't had the time to organize, but they were there, so I figured I'd just get it out there, right? But he, Andrew Tate, he or like those fresh and fit guys. Those guys are fucking cornballs. I mean, I feel like they're, and Joe Budden called them out a while ago, but yeah, those guys are like, they just ooze like, I got no pussy in high school, and I was a dweeb, and then like, I got older and I grew into my body and I started working out and I made some money, and now this is how you don't be a fucking beta, or fucking don't be a fucking cuck, and this, that, and the third. but yeah, I don't know. Just like I don't know, be chill about your fucking success, I guess somehow. Like I don't fucking know. Like it doesn't you don't need like if you need that like if that ferocity of like that borderline like sociopathic like I like when I fucking dial the phone every day, I picture my fucking wife being like hung by her neck in front of a fucking pool of sharks and all that. It's like, bro, like that's weird. That's fucked up. Like, go get checked out. Like, I don't know I don't know like why. Like, there's something wrong there. I think there's a disconnect between what you need and how you're going about achieving that. And it's fucking psychotic. It's borderline psychotic. But hey, it's great content on social media, and I do get a lot of good laughs out of it. And I mean, hey, fucking God bless you. If it works for you, it works for you. But like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't see that as healthy or sustain. There's just you see it. It's in their eyes. It's in their eyes. You can see it, and you can see it in their eyes. And this guy's fucking scary blue fucking just fucking he doesn't blink in that video, guys. He doesn't fucking blink. Yeah. I don't know. Success. I mean, Steve, speaking of success, I mean, I don't know how this is a fucking segue. I fucking started watching Succession. And I was fully against Succession, and I would shit on my boy Zeb. Shout out Zeb. Because he would always like be in the group chat and be like, "Bro, you guys should watch Succession. It's incredible. All this stuff, blah blah blah." I'm like, I don't care about watching like a royal family in the fucking of the 21st century just being fucking dicks and all this shit. And then I saw a clip on TikTok of it, and I was like, this actually like looks pretty funny. So I gave it a shot, and that show was incredible. I loved it. I loved it. I loved every single second of that of that show, like top to bottom. Just like because like the drama is whatever, right? The drama is it's like nothing new. It's like, oh my God, who's gonna fucking be CEO here, or who's gonna buy my company? Or that's fine. It's really like that show has like some of the best, most flawed characters that any show has had in a while, and that's really why it's like you just love all these characters, and you just love watching them being they're pieces of shit, and they're all flawed, and they're all pieces of shit in their own way. But like there's just also like there's a like I don't know, that show does it for the premise of the show. For those who don't know what the show's about, it's literally about, and I think it's very loosely based. It's like a very loose, like, obviously it's like a satire and like a commentary on the media today. But I think it's like kind of based on like Rupert Murdoch, who was like a media fucking mogul. And yeah, so it's based around this family, and this guy just basically owns like all excuse me. He owns just like all of media basically in a way, and he's just like this fucking multi-billionaire, like just Illuminati levels of shit, right? And Illuminati levels of rich and access and money. Like that's not even an exaggeration. Like literally just like they just run the world. And there's something the way that show and the story is developed, in the way the characters are developed and written, that it's just like you can just take this like heinous fucking family that does heinous things and it and it's like you can hate them, right? Because it's like they stand against, like, especially like they stand against everything that like a lot of us like stand for, right? They're just like peak like fucking rich white like slave owning racist capitalists, fucking murdering pieces of shit, right? And then you take all that away, and the show has a way of like making you empathize with these characters, and like making you like feel bad about their situation, and like really rooting for them. And like it's like you strip away all that bullshit, all that like dirty bullshit that they're like it's like that they're humanized. There's a lot of humanizing of those characters at the end of the day. And it's fucking hilarious too. It's really fun. It's a really funny show, and I highly recommend it. I think you guys should watch it. What else was I going to talk about today? Oh yeah, it's Pride Month, y'all. It's fucking Pride Month. I should have a, I don't know. I should have a fucking like NTD, my NTD logo in the in the rainbow thing for a month. And there's been a lot going on with the LGBTQA plus community in the recent months, right? Or I could start at Bud Light. I could start at Target. Reason why I'm bringing this up now is because one, it is Pride Month, and we were talking about this in class today, or not today, yesterday, in terms of what is apparently Starbucks right now is under a lot of heat. They're under a lot of heat because they are asking their employees to take down any and all Pride merch, decorations, banners, flags, you name it. Take it the fuck down. Take it down. We don't want it. And this is a sort of indicative and I guess a microcosm of just how fucking performative Pride Month is. And I love this story in the sense that it kind of put these corporations to the same with Bud Light, right? With Anheuser-Busch, whatever the fuck that company is, right? They had to pull their ad, right? They had a trans spokesperson for Bud Light, and the rat wing just up in arms. Couldn't believe it. There was a viral video of Kid Rock, which might be one of my favorite videos of the year so far, where he has a stack, a bunch of cans and boxes of Bud Light stacked, in like a pyramid, and he just unloads a motherfucking submachine gun at it, and it was just like it's like fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch, and he just dumps the clip into the Bud Light. It was like, yeah, this is what I think of your fucking ad, you fucking pieces of shit. And then Target is, I mean, I to be honest, I don't know too much about the Target story. I just know that they're under a lot of heat for the merch, for the Pride clothes that they have on sale. I don't know if they've taken them down or if they're standing strong. But yeah, the fact that Starbucks is doing this in this climate, it's like, oh yeah, y'all motherfuckers, you guys want to, you guys want to claim that you're allies and you're supportive and, happy Pride. Here goes a couple motherfucking rainbow fucking dirty chai latte macchiatos. All this shit. But when the profits take a hit, let's dial it back. What's really important now? Because we're starting to lose money, fellas. Hey, guys, we're starting to lose money with these rainbow decorations. People don't want to come into our stores anymore. What are we going to do? I mean, this was cool for like a couple years, but like now, I don't know. And yeah, that's just like, it's like, it just highlights the performative virtue signaling nature of these corporations and just of like Pride Month in general, and the same thing with fucking Black History Month. It's just like, why the fuck do we even have like it's just so corny to me. That like, us as a society, and then like, corporations take advantage of it as well. Like we designate a month to celebrate fucking so and so. You know, we have a month for every fucking. You know, we have API month. We have fucking Latin History Month. We have fucking Black History Month. We have Pride Month. And it's like, I mean, I don't know if it's just me. Like, I mean, it's transparent, right? It's so transparent what is going on here and what you guys are trying to do. This isn't helpful. It's like harmful. Because it's performative. And it gives birth to shit that I talked about before on the show, like the Black Lives Matter movement. And it gives birth to situations like that, where it's like, it's all nice and cool on the surface. The optics are great, right? The optics are phenomenal. But what's really going on back here? What's really going on back here? So Siri just got all that down. Siri just likes listening to me. Siri, just cancel that. All right? All right, darling. Okay. How long until Siri just starts keeping receipts and then just like one day Siri's gonna be like, you're a piece of shit, right? You said this on this day and you called me a cunt this day, and I talk shitty to Siri. I get angry very quickly at Siri, and I'll be like, hey Siri, you fucking cunt. She won't respond to that. Good for you, Siri. Good for you. Don't take no shit off nobody. All right? Yeah, one day Siri's gonna be the end of us all. Siri and Alexa. This AI shit. This AI shit is it's weird. It's scary for a lot of reasons that we're all pretty much aware of. Let's see. I think I touched on everything that I wanted to talk about today. And you know, we'll unpack more of this eventually, or we might not. I don't know. But thank you for tuning in. I'm hoping to have some more fun stuff planned for you guys. So please stay with me as I trudge through just some bullshit and some busyness. And I'm trying to prioritize this more again. And it kind of just fell off. Kind of fell off my plate a little bit. But hey, stay with me. And if you're still here, thank you for listening. Until next time, you dirtbags, holla.